as it went to grab him, to snatch him, to drag him into that mouth. But he instinctively stepped back into the lock, splashing one of the horse's legs. That beast let out a horrible thundering snort, just a as it stepped away from the water. The swooping hands just missed, dragging Tomas with him. He did a little shimmy shimmy.
Did a little Macarena.
He did a little Macarena. He saw his chance, darting past him with fear serving up his like a rocket up his backside. He legged it along the edge of the lock. By the way, this is word. It said legged it. He knew there was a little river ahead, and far then that thing wouldn't dare follow. But he won't dare yet. And that monster was hot on his heels, trying to grab his booty, trying to serve him unwashed cucumbers. He could hear snorting and roaring behind him like a storm on his tail. Just as he reached the river, he felt, more than saw, the long arms coming for him, and he dove right into the water. Waiting to the other side, Tomas looked back to see the Nucalavi screeching on the other side. As he panted for breath, he saw the only thing he had lost was his bonnet, hanging from those enormous arms. If you ever do visit the Northern Isles, especially Orkney, then you should wish for rain. One thing for certain, don't mention the Nucalavi's name out loud. Alright. So what do y'all think of that?
Fun. It's funny that he's just like scared of water.
I do think it's really goofy. Like that boy is just, I'm gonna touch you, but please no water.
Hydrophobic.
Imagine being hydrophobic and being a. Bro said it's just water. Bro said it's just water. Touch it. No, I'm scared.
I'm scared.
I'm scared. I'm just a little baby child.
I don't want to. I'm scared.
I don't want to bathe. I'm scared.
I like being stinky.
Honestly, that thing needs to be unstinky.
Did you know a person can actually be skinned alive without dying? They'll actually die of hypothermia before blood loss.
I'm more concerned that you seem to know that off the top of your head. But also, I mentioned cannibalism, and also then well, don't first off, but the human body is approximately 125k calories, so a lot of bulking.
Hey, the bulk. And that you can bite your pinky finger off like a carrot, but your brain won't let you.
Our jaws.
Poor idea.
Our jaws are strong enough to just bite through fingers and stuff. We just don't. Just to be nice.
We're just considerate like that.
We're considerate like that.
I guess I won't bite your hand off.
1 second.
I will.
Sorry, I had to sneeze.
You're fine.
Alright.
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 Sorry, I had to
Alright.
Alright, now shake it. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. I can't wait to go to Orkney and not mention that thing. Not Imagine you go to Orkney and someone says that, and then everyone on the island just fucking stares at you like you this dumb bitch, and then they all go inside.
Honestly, I probably would.
Even by accident. Internet banking stuff is hella scary. I hate that shit. But yeah, dude, like, you go there, mind your own fucking business, good ass day. You like, oh, I sure
really
hope this
nice sunny day.
I hope the Nucalavi doesn't show up. Everyone just turns and dead stares at you, and it's like, oh, you fucked up now.
Oh, you messed up. You messed up.
You messed up.
Cause like, I like don't really believe in urban legends and whatnot, but like still, I ain't messing with that.
I'm
I ain't trying
superstitious.
to test it.
I'm superstitious enough, yeah.
Like even if you don't believe in it, just don't be stupid. Don't test it, and you're chill.
Yeah, Because, like, if you test it, well, then you're going to suddenly have a reason to believe.
Like, the people who, like, are like, no, Ouija boards aren't real, and then they go and play with one in, like, an abandoned warehouse or something. I'm like, you...
Ouija board.
You what?
Ouija board, please.
Did you say you wanted to use it?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. I ain't touching one of those for nothing.
Yeah, that's not happening.
You will not catch me.
Miss me with that shit. Okay, so she's staying in the cuck chair, and we'll duct tape her there.
Tape her down.
Tape her down.
Let her out.
No, but like, especially like you play with a Ouija board, like in an abandoned warehouse or in one of like the most haunted hospitals in the world or something, or in the U.S. And I'm just like, are y'all dumb? Like genuinely, are you okay?
Are you alright? Okay, wait. I'm gonna use the bathroom before I do my story. Y'all entertain chat.
Bananas and hot dogs and sweet cream and banana chips.
That is one of those entertaining ways I've heard in a while for you to say that you like hot fudge sundaes in weird ways.
Hot fudge sundaes. Nani?
Do you not like banana splits?
I don't like bananas. But I like banana bread.
I'm not gonna front. I don't like bananas by themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
But bananas with the right combo of food or in like a smoothie, I fuck with them heavy.
Banana bread.
Strawberry banana? Amazing.
Banana bread.
I actually don't like banana bread, I'm gonna be honest with you.
You need to put cream cheese on banana bread. It's good.
I could, in fact, fuck with that. I'll try that.
It's like the only way to eat banana bread is with cream cheese on it. Banana
you know what?
bread.
I fuck with it. Go banana bread, I choose you.
Oh god, I'm gonna start doing the banana bread thing again. There's a game called like Spy Party or something, and like if you're the spy and you steal something while you're like trying to steal, like, I don't know. It's like a pretty much spy game. It's literally a spy game.
Okay, keep talking, I'm listening.
You swipe, you have to like swipe an item as the spy while no, sorry. The spy is looking at you or trying to figure out who you are in the crew or whatever, a bunch of random people. So anytime they do something that's out of sorts, it'll be talking, banana bread.
Okay, I just wanted to let y'all know I'm also gonna go grab some more water and a snack, so.
Okay.
How dare you? Get me some too, please.
I gotta figure out what the name of the game, the spy, banana bread spy party. I think it's called Spy Party.
It's literally just called Spy Party, yeah.
Yeah, Spy Party. Literally, it's like you've got a spy who's trying to figure out who the odd person is, and then the person who's trying to steal the like item or whatever. So whenever they like are doing something out of place, again, like I already said, it'll be like people are talking, like there's like normal conversation, and all of a sudden, banana bread. Banana bread. Banana bread.
I love that. Banana bread.
Be like, huh? What do you mean banana bread?
What the fuck is banana bread? I do love me some memes. So like, you know what? That's fair. I also love how at the start of the stream you're like, you know what? You guys are fine over there. And then just S'mores and I looked at you like, you're not escaping. And now you're just like, well, this is my life now. I'm stuck.
Banana bread.
That's not a no, but you know what? Fair enough. Banana bread.
Banana bread.
Banana bread.
I'm stealing your stuff. Banana bread.
I'm stealing your stuff. You stole my heart. Banana bread.
Banana bread.
Banana bread.
Banana bread.
Honestly, I'm glad that we did this, though. I'm quite enjoy this.
Banana bread.
You know what? I'll give you that banana bread.
Number 1, banana bread.
Number 1, Hadoodoo banana bread.
God damn it.
Is it? Wait, it was Hadoodoo, Saibobo?
Hadoodoo, Saibobo. Arbobo. Arbobo.
Or Bobo? Le Bobo?
La bobo. La boo.
Le Bubu? Got Le Bubu and Saibobo. We've got Libubu, Saibobo, Chicken Nuggies.
I like chicken nuggets.
Hey, it is what it is.
Chi boo boo, chi boo boo. Smo boo
Fribubu,
boo. It's smo boo boo.
Smobubu, Smorbubu,
Mhm.
Chibubu, Chibobo,
Chibobo.
Chibobo.
My name is Chibobo. Hello, I am
Her name
Chibobo.
is Chibobo. My name is Libobo, and that's Smobobo.
I am a dead body.
Juanita,
Please help me.
when I'm under the water, please help me. We need hats that just say I'm Libubu. That's Chibobo, and that's Smobobo.
Nah, I feel like if you're our a little bit habubu habubu
Heb Habubu,
habubu.
Hadudu.
If you're she can't we can't both be Bobo. We gotta come up with something else.
Well, you're Hadudu. What is it?
Chi
You're huddled, Hadudu.
Chidudu. Okay, I'm Chidudu.
You're you're Chidudu. I'm Libobo, and she's Shimobo. Smobobo.
Smobobo.
Smobobo, Lebubu,
Chidudu.
and Chidudu. Hidudu,
Chidudu.
Chidudu.
We gotta remember this now.
I'm gonna write this down. Chidudu, Hadudu, Hadudu,
Oh, okay.
Lebobo,
Aloha.
Lebubu. Welcome back. So we've got Chidudu from Hidudu. We've got Libubu for Lobo. We've got Smobobo.
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 Alright. Yes.
Okay, we ready for story?
Banana bread.
Banana bread.
Banana bread.
Banana bread.
Banana bread.
Banana
Alright, we're
bread.
ready. I'm gonna just mute my mic while I'm on some snackies.
Fair. Okay. This story is Stay Out of the Woods on Halloween. When I think back on childhood memories, I think of many Halloween nights spent traversing the streets I grew up on. I feel the crisp fall evening air and the illuminated houses decorated to the nines. I consider myself lucky. The neighbors would go all out, and my parents were caught up in all the friendly keeping up with the Joneses vibes. I can recall the many decorations and displays my dad would rig up on our old CRT TV and plexiglass made to look like a floating head. He was really proud of himself that year for not being outdone by the folks a few houses down with a literal haunted maze in their yard. The whole street was like a rally, all imbued with spirit of the season and expendable income. Troves of kids would walk up and down the street at the gauntlet of houses, horrors and creepy crawlies with plenty of candy to go around. The year I was finally allowed to trick or treat without any parental supervision was one I'll seldom forget. I was a witch that year. The costume had lovingly been hand-sewn by my doting grandma, who had let me pick out the pattern at a hobby store a few towns over. Plenty of kids were witches that year, but none were so purple and sparkly as me. A fact I took much childish glee in. I had one of those classic purple pumpkin buckets to collect my spoils in, and as soon as I had finished dinner and heard the old safety lecture from my mom, I was free to go. I wasted no time in barreling out into the streets, into throngs of other kids approaching my house, already having started their trick-or-treating. I made quick work of the first few houses, scurrying between other children and parents to collect my candy prizes from overfilled themed bowls and cauldrons. I was polite, saying thanks, as I had been taught, but it was perhaps a little more rushed than my parents would have liked. I had places to be, though. With how extravagant the neighborhood tended to be, I wanted to see each and every decorated house I possibly could with my strout-legged pace. I had been told to stick to the sidewalks and walkways. Don't follow any strangers, and stay on the street. Stay out of the woods. They were simple enough rules to follow for any kid on Halloween night, but I was excited. It was my first time trick-or-treating. without my parents tailing after me. So when I spotted a group of kids from my class at school sneaking into the back of an old house nobody had lived in for quite some time, I ultimately forgot those rules. The house at the end of my street hadn't been lived in since before I was born. It was
It's so
old.
fucking easy to not do this shit and not die, and everyone in these stories. Well, let me do something that would make a horror character movie seem sane by comparison.
Yeah, these 4 rules that I was given from my parents, how about we break all of them?
All at once, too. I'm gonna go for a real, like, a high score.
High school. If you're gonna break it, at least break it right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and a porn maze, not a fucking haunted house.
Okay. The house hadn't been lived in since before I was born. It was old and falling apart, and a hangout for troublesome teens, according to my dad. It also sat on the edge of the woods. I could see thick branches crawling up towards the sky, like a sea of black prickly fingers trying to grab the bright shining moon. A chill ran down my spine, causing me to shiver. Though if that was from my own excitement or the cool autumn weather, I couldn't really tell. Without a second thought, I found myself straying from the sidewalk and into the overgrown yard of the old house, following the soft hum of chatter coming from my classmates. I slipped between the large gap in the weathered ash-gray picket fence and found myself amongst my peers, all gathered around listening to my school's most notorious troublemaker, Dalton. He was dressed like a devil, as often depicted in Bible school, which I found quite fitting given he was the meanest boy in the entire grade, a fact that he was openly quite proud of. He has more trips to the principal office than anyone I think I'd ever met. At recess, rumors would pass around that he'd been held back twice, which would explain why he would tower over other kids in our grade and threaten us for our lunch money. If he had been quicker, I could have slipped back through the gap of the fence, but I was too late. Dalton had spotted me. Suddenly, my costume didn't make me feel so gleeful as it had been easier to spot among the other kids that had gathered. I was suddenly pushed forward from behind the stumbling group into Dalton. Behind me stood one of Dalton's helpers, a bigger boy whose name I can't really recall
A
anymore,
boy bigger.
but I most certainly
A boy
remember Dalton.
bigger.
Bro, that's
I feel
literally
like
how it was written.
I feel like the funniest thing here is like bro or sis. Which one? Does it say?
I don't know. I think it's a bro.
I'm gonna say
Sis?
bro.
No,
No,
witch.
sis probably. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
sis. Chose to ignore everyone, then went under a fence, and then there was a bully who saw them and went, "Ah, yes, fresh meat."
Fresh meat.
It's like, girl, just stick to the fucking sidewalks, and you will not have any issues. But also, I cast. She should have yelled. She should have yelled, "I cast explode your balls," and then punched him in the nuts.
Fireball.
I cast fireball. Pulls out a gun.
Oh. Behind me stood one of Dalton's
Fireball.
goons, a bigger boy whose name I can't really recall anymore, but I certainly remember Dalton's. I found myself encircled, passive indifference on the faces of my many classmates. I didn't have many friends at that age. I guess I'd always been a bit of an oddball, so it made sense. I searched around, hoping to at least spot somebody in the group willing to stick up for me, but I found none. So I resigned myself to whatever game they were playing, even if it didn't look fun in the least. Dalton pointed towards the woods. A cruel smile, showing candy green teeth, leered down at me. "There's a monster out in that woods," he said. I don't think it would have taken a genius to figure out what the taller boy was getting at, but I began to feel scared, a slight wobble in my knees and a soft tremor of my voice with confusion. What's that got to do with me? Ain't it obvious? We need a bait, and you just kindly volunteered. He laughed, earning an accompanying giggles from his goons, and an awkward murmur of agreement from my classmates. I was pushed again, this time out of the circle of kids, and past the weathered fence onto the grassy hill that led up to the edge of the woods. Oh, I'll hydrate too.
Gimme.
We love water here. The thud of the water bottle.
Excuse me.
Bark
Excuse
counter.
me.
Burp counter. Okay. I turned to protest, but I found myself looking up at Dalton, who was still smiling down at me, his face close enough for me to smell the sweet sour of whatever had stained his teeth. Any words that might have been able to get me out quickly left my vocabulary. The wobble in my knees worsened as the rattle of the leaves and prickly branches filled my ears as the wind blew past. "We don't got all night, Smalls," he snapped with a harsh shove. I stumbled backwards a few steps, managed to catch myself on the hill. I glared, eyeing Dalton at the other boys flanking him. I wasn't near fast enough to outrun them to safety of the street. I knew that for a fact. And I knew for a fact that asking nicely would only make matters worse for me. "Well," Dalton jeered, a pointed jab in the direction of the woods behind me. "Get on with it." Without any other options, I could only obey his command, so I clambered up the hill onto the flatter ground, covered in unraked leaf and partly grown grass. I heard the group following after me, watching each and every terrified step. I took closer and closer to the edge of the woods. From this close I could see the pitch black in between the tall tree trunks, the branches cascading eerily, shadows eerie shadows where the moonlight couldn't touch. Several more trembling steps carried me forward. The trees began to loom over me like tall giants devoid of their colorful foliage that made me pleasing to look at. Dalton then decided to bark out orders. "Stop! Stay right there, Smalls. Don't move." So I did as he said. I planted both feet firmly into the ground, gripping the plastic cord of my pumpkin bucket tight in my hand in case I needed to run. Then I gazed into the woods, a terror rising up in me, squeezing my chest. The voices of my classmates were drowned out by the wind and the rustling of the trees in my ears. I waited, too afraid to look behind me to check if Dalton and the others were still there, too afraid that something would leap out at me. So
Man,
I
fuck
kept
that. Throw your bucket and run, bro.
so I kept my ears and eyes peeled for any possible movement or sound that spelled danger. Yeah, the poor choices.
Such poor choices that legitimately, if this person lived to be like 20s, I think they would have been killed.
Um, when it had felt like several minutes had passed, I began to think a little more, and the earlier terror began to fade, replaced by irritation, as I realized this was all a big joke. Dalton and the others had probably snuck away by now, leaving me standing there like an idiot in front of the spooky old woods. I was wasting precious trick-or-treating time. Impulsively, I kicked the grass, embarrassed at how easily I caved to Dalton's schemes, and well aware that school tomorrow would be hell thanks to my own stupidity. It was then that I heard it, the loud crack of a twig snapping, that had me on alert again. My head jerked up from where it had lulled. Ears perked for any other sounds while I searched for the source of the snap. I figured it had to be a squirrel or some other animal. Dalton's monster story wasn't real, so it had to be an animal. There wasn't any other explanation for it. In my peripheral, I spotted something that I hadn't noticed before. A bright spot of pink among the dark green grass. It was a piece of candy that must have fallen from my bucket somehow. Though I wasn't really sure how that was possible, as I hadn't gathered nearly enough candy for it to spill over yet. I bent forward to pick it up without thinking much of it when I froze. The stillness of the air caused the small hairs on the back of my neck to prickle, and in the back of my mind, I felt as if something long forgotten stirred. The woods were silent. No wind or rustling leaves, no creaking branches, only silence. The silence felt wrong. Very, very wrong. My hand that had remained stilled midair just inches from the pink confection was slowly pulled back to my person. The silence remained, waiting. My stomach was in knots, a cold sweat turned my hands clammy, and I straightened up as slow as I could, my gaze transfixed on the pink spot in the grass, the color so out of place, yet appealing all the same. I waited in the silent stillness for reasons. I didn't know why. Instincts, perhaps. I waited and waited until the silence was suddenly broke by the snap of another twig.
I'm
And
gonna
I
be
made the
honest.
mistake.
Oh,
Hmm?
nope. Go ahead. Sorry. I was gonna say I'm gonna be honest. At this point, I feel like with this point, this is for the freeze instinct. So I understand
Hmm.
this one. I
The,
understand. By now, I get why they're not run. Now they're kind of
yeah,
boned.
you kind of lose your fight or flight and you just freeze. You're like, well,
Well,
we just wait.
fight or flight is there is three options to fight or flight. It's fight, flight, or freeze. So
Hmm.
they
Plenty
chose
of people
freeze,
freeze up.
and now they're fucked. So
Mhm.
good luck,
Um,
dummy. I don't know why you're sticking around with a pink fucking confection right there when you're dressed like a witch.
I
Alright,
waited until the silence was suddenly broken by the snap of another twig, and I made the mistake of looking for the source of the sound again. From the corner of my eye, as my head turned in what felt like slow motion, something large and shapeless skittered between the trees.
it was Scooby Doo.
I would have screamed had my hands not clamped tight over my mouth, trapping it inside. I don't think I could ever comprehend what it was that I might have seen that night, but every bone, every fiber, every part of my very being in that moment was screaming at me to remain silent. Over the roar of blood in my ears, I strained to listen, waiting, afraid to even breathe. I stood frozen. Even the tremble of my body had stilled, the stirring in the back of my mind preventing me from reclaiming control of my own legs and scrambling back to safety, of bright lights and civilization. I stood frozen, trapped, mere feet mere feet from something only known to the deepest forgotten parts of me. From the silent darkness of the woods, another candy appeared, rolling slowly along the dirt and grass, to rest right beside the other without even making a sound. The silence was still waiting, and a new level of fear washed over me as it dawned what, or rather who, it was waiting for. In an instant, my body and mind were in agreement. I ran, snapped from my statuesque state, like a rubber band stretched too tight, my feet tearing into the ground, clumps of grass and dirt kicked up. As I scrambled and stumbled over myself to get back, my legs carried me away, hard and fast, away from the silence, down the hill and back onto the street. When I hit the concrete, I tripped, landing on my hands and knees. The pain shocked me out of my terrified stupor, and the rush of blood to my ears subsided. A few of my classmates, with guilt-ridden expressions, approached me and helped me up back to my feet. My palms and knees were scraped, and I was barely holding back tears. I dropped my bucket and spilled the candy. Spoils all over the sidewalk in my neighbor's front yard. My bucket was returned, but the majority of the candy was missing. Above the concerned questioning of my classmates, I could hear Dalton's jeers and teases. Though now someone stepped in to scold him, I didn't head home immediately, though my heart was still pounding and my hands and knees stung. I stopped at a few houses to reclaim what I had lost. My classmates had followed for a few houses to make sure I wouldn't tattle, some even bribing me with some nicer treats from their own buckets before hurrying away. I returned to my home with a story about tripping over my shoelaces to explain the scrapes which my mom tended to with a fond exasperation. I was allowed to stay up and eat candy before bed, and coerced my parents into letting me sleep with the radio on. As the light of the radio played the Ghostbusters theme song for the 100th time that day, I thought of the woods and the silence, content to experience neither ever again.
Can you send me that story? I want to peruse that.
Sure.
I'm not gonna lie, that one feels a lot more like, how do I say this? Like ancient. Like there are some stories that like are just things that are like embodied within the woods. You know, like the woods are here. Like a lot of like that definitely feels like a story. Because European folklore, especially within the forest and woods, are usually just I'm gonna kidnap you or I'm gonna like make you get lost. Like the Leshy. But here in the United States, it's always all right. Well, you're about to fucking die.
Yeah.
So like you're
See, the reason I wanted to read that one was because I really liked the silence, like the rustling of the wood stopping and whatnot, and I really like how well written it was.
that one was very well written. Yeah, there's very few from those areas that are like as well written.
Like they
Ugh.
actually used big boy words instead of just like quiet and like scared.
And they use their big boy words correctly too.
Yeah.
Ugh. All right, let me see. Let's see from the scary stories. You could also check out No Sleep. I've seen some good ones there too.
That's what was one of the stuff I've been reading from.
Top all time. Let's see what's the scariest story I've got in here.
It was a poor choice to get an ice cream cone when it was my turn to read. It's now slowly melting over my hands.
No! Save the ice cream!
I'm
You have to
trying.
save the
I'm
Soul
trying, Abby.
Society!
I'm eating it fast.
Eat faster. Eat so fast the silence never gets to you again. You have to save the Soul Society. You are Ichigo Kurosaki now. I do feel like collabs, like, eventually, like, if you're, like, in a collab, unless you're in a yapping collab, like, which we have been for 4 hours, I feel like after a while, even a yapping collab, you tend to, like, somewhat fall into a comfortable pattern where it's like, we'll comment, you know? Because before it was Habubu. Wait, was it Hadudu? Yeah, it was Hadudu.
Doodoo.
Wait, Hadudu. Alright. And now we're
Gio,
all
are you doing good?
Mm-hmm.
Chio, you good? You tiring?
No.
You just haven't been talking much, so I was like,
No,
if
I'm
you're
just
tired, we can.
scrolling.
She's scrolling that tic-tac.
Nope, not TikTok. My Snapchat.
Close enough. Alright, we can do one more, then probably end it there, I'd say.
Sounds good to me.
Because I'm starting to get a bit eepy.
I still
Which
have
is side-
one more story.
Yeah, yes, this is true. We should do this again sometime.
This was actually a lot of fun, yeah. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I have.
I agree. Ugh. Ugh.
I was
Hey,
worried it would be like really boring after the first story.
Yeah, but then we just started. I think it's mainly because we didn't do story into story into story. We started fucking yapping on them. You know what? 100%. That's the fucking Nuclavi. Bro, the Nuclavi came out and said, "Ooh, children, I'm gonna eat you." Yum.
And I loved the one candy rolling out of the forest.
Like a little bribe, like, "Come here, I won't eat you.
Come on.
Come on." And then they probably after was like, "Darn!" And then they did 2 candies the next time.
I really thought it would work.
And then, like, eventually I feel like they're gonna do that. Like, it's kind of, you know what scares me the most about that? The fact that it rolled something out to them means it knows what they would like. Like, it's like a bribe, right? Like, it's a
Learning.
hunter. It's learning, yeah. So eventually it's gonna find something that sticks, and then when it finds something that sticks,
You no longer have your child.
say goodbye to that child. Sweet child of mine no more.
Sweet child of mine.
I wonder if you could feasibly torque to some old rock songs. Like if you could time your ass in tone, if you could thrust your ass in
Bro,
in
my
tempo.
favorite is watching people twerk to like the old impressive music like Mozart and whatnot.
Wait, can you send me a video of that? Hold on.
I will. I have
I'm
literally
gonna-
one video in mind. It's so good.
Here, can you send me that right now? I want to see this.
Oh my goodness. Let me pull it up.
Let me, bro. Torquing to Mozart is crazy. YouTube. Is it a YouTube or a TikTok or something?
There's TikTok.
Torquing. Girls torquing to classical music and jazz.
You like jazz?
I put classical music over a Torque video and it kind of fits.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say I am deeply sorry. I was bored. I'm gonna be honest. That's all I needed to say.
Oh, I can't find the one that I was thinking of.
Fiverr spellcasters.
It's so good. It's so funny.
I need you to send it to me. Let me look to this. I love how you have the regular ass Torque videos, and then it's just search classical music Torque at 3 in the morning. My classical music Torque. Classical music you can torque to. Wait, why this guy kind of got ass though? I love how we were supposed to be fucking looking at that, and it's just now classical music meets torquing.
Mm-hmm.
Who said you can't? Is it a guy or a girl torque?
The girl.
Dang.
This was like literal years ago though when I watched it, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it.
I'm not gonna lie, this one's kind of really funny. Hold on. I was not expecting this.
There's so many good ones.
I was not expecting this. He's kind of got ass though. A classical torquer is devious work. Sorry, I got distracted by ass.
It's okay. I understand.
This one does have British people talking, so there is that negative.
That's like
Oh, there you go. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, wait.
guys, I ate the ice cream cone and it didn't melt all over the place. I'm so proud.
I'm so fucking proud of you.
Thank
Motherfuckers
you.
in 1706 when Beethoven dropped a new album. If people had cars... Wait.
They're so good. They're so funny. It's so random too.
This one isn't the same. This one's kind of fucking goofy.
Chiho, do you have another story?
Yeah.
I feel like she's just waiting for us.
Yeah, she's just like, shut up. Let me get this over with. Okay, I'm ready for another story time then. Let me get cuddled up with my blanket
Okay.
and my snacks.
The third floor girls' bathroom of Konamame Academy had been closed for years. Rumors said it was due to plumbing issues, but every student knew the truth. Hanako-san lived there. Decades ago, a girl named Hanako died violently in that bathroom. Some whispered she was a World War II child who hid in the stalls during an air raid, only to burn alive when the bombs struck. Others claimed she was murdered by a stranger, or even her own parents. Her blood stained the tiles of the third stall. The most tragic version said she had taken her own life after relentless bullying, her ghost forever bound to the place of her despair. On an autumn evening, 3 girls, Ami, Yui, and Rina, dared each other to perform the ritual. Knock 3 times on the third stall door. Call out, Hanako-san, Hanako-san, are you there? Ami's knocks echoed like a heartbeat. Silence. Then, yes I am. A child's voice, scratchy as rust hinges. The door cracked open. Inside stood a girl in a red skirt, her bobbed hair shadowing her hollow eyes. Will you play with me? She asked, her lips splitting into a grin too wide for her face. Yui screamed as Hanako's hands, cold and clammy, latched on to her wrist. The stall's toilet water churned back, reeking of rot. Friends stay together, Hanako giggled, dragging Yui towards the ball. Ami lunged, but the door slammed shut. Behind it, wet, tearing sounds, then silence. When the teacher broke down the door at dawn, they found only Yui's shoe and a single bloody handprint on the stall wall. Ami and Rina transferred schools, but neither escaped nightmares of Hanako's whispers. Knock again, and I'll answer. Rina swore she saw a girl in red watching from the bathroom mirror, her reflection blinking in and out of sync.
What about the other girl?
She died, remember?
No, there's 3 of them, no?
Yes, Yui got dragged away, and then there was Ami and Rina. Yui died.
Yes, and then one of them saw a ghost in the fucking mirror. I'm saying, what about the third one?
There was only 3 girls. Ami, Yui, and Rina.
Oh, one of them was the dead one.
Yes.
My brain did not put that together for a second. I'm like, this bitch is lying.
She's a smart one.
I am the smart one. I just fucking conked. My fucking full attention was paid and then missed.
Bro, I was over here munching on chips. I was very loud. I just muted my mic and was like, this is nice. I can just listen to her story.
I muted because I was chopping. And I unmuted to ask. It's like, oh, my full attention. I mean,
like the stories have gotten scarier as we've gone through.
Yeah, they have.
I kind of love.
And I love that we're still fucking zoning out all throughout all of them. Well, not. It's really goofy, at least to me. All right, let's see. Close that. All right, let's see. Wait, did I just close my fucking? I think I closed it. No, wait, no, I didn't. Why do I have mobile Discord? What the fuck? Get out of here. Or desktop Discord. Huh?
4 hours, 34 minutes so far.
We are cinema. Well, I've got 3 more, but I'm not gonna do that. I'll do, because actually, wait, let me preview this real fast.
Chicken wing, hot dog and bologna, chicken and macaroni.
Chicken jockey.
I haven't seen the Minecraft movie.
I'm gonna be honest, I had a good time.
Chicken jerking it.
Just man.
Hey, yo! S'mores, I didn't know fucking Chiho was built like that.
POV.
I am. My friend actually my friend and I had we had a Waltz work-off party.
We love it.
We do love to see it.
Who said you can't twerk to classical music?
I can hear that shit.
I can hear it too.
If you're gonna show the TikTok, at least fucking like send it to us so we can see.
I think she was looking at the ones we sent.
Oh, okay. Here's my last one. Well, I've got a few, but... Oh! Okay. Alright, here's my last one.
Why can you hear it? I literally turned it down super low.
Because our ears are built to hear torquing.
We've got big wolf ears.
We've got the torquing radars.
The special tenses.
We've got the special torquers. Torquors. Torquors moment. Okay. And here's mine. And I could probably... Oh my god, dude. I was chomping on ice the other day, and people were like, ooh, ASMR. I'm like, no, freaks. Not freaks, but... Oh, no. You didn't pay for it.
Like, freaks. Freaks.
You're freaks for expecting that it's free. I would need to schedule an ASMR stream or receive something to do, you know?
Compensation.
Yeah, pretty much. You're not freaks. I'm the freakiest of all of them. I'm freakier than my chat. Alright. Let's get it. In the Scottish Highlands, lurks the most sinister of all the Fey folk, the bloodthirsty Balbon Sith. Okay. Drawn to hunters by the smell of blood, the Balbon Sith can read a man's mind and shapeshift into somebody he finds beautiful. Actually, you know what? No. I know a better one.
Pivot.
So this tale is from Quito in Ecuador. So, in this tale, a man goes to stay with friends, with family and friends. Huh?
Who just decided, hey, let's twerk to Mozart?
Us. Now start twerking. So what I was gonna say, right. So I've got this. So a man in Quito, or a man in Ecuador, a while back goes to stay with family. And his family is like, okay, yeah, you can come visit, come hang out, come visit, come spend time, And, actually, wait, hold on. I need a sound effect for this. How are you guys able to play sound effects, by the way? I might need your help with this.
I literally just played it from my phone.
Yeah.
Can one of you get the sounds of chains being dragged?
I got you.
I'll tell you when to play it.
Papa John's ad first.
Okay, so this man goes to stay with family or friends, right? And they put him up. They're like, yes, you can come visit, please, come stay and hang out. And he's like, all right, bet. And then he heads over. So he goes to visit his friends and his family, or friends/family. And they're like, all right, we'll host you. And then he stays over for a while. I'm not sure what he's staying over for. I forgot, but I think it's just to spend time with them. And they say, we only have one rule. At night, never open the door if someone knocks and you don't. At night, even if someone you know is calling to you, never open the door if there's knocking or banging on the window, and never look out the window. So, he's going to bed. He's all chill, you know? Everything's good. Good night. He had a good day. He hung out with friends, went out to eat. And then the night comes. And in the night, there's knocking on the door. He hears music coming from outside. He's curious. You know, he hears music coming from the door. He hears music coming from outside. He hears people shouting, people talking. He's like, what's going on? And he goes to look. Or he, like, makes an attempt to look. And he hears knocking. And then comes the sounds, the chains. Chiho, if you would.
Or not. My phone proceeded to try and shut itself off. Oh.
Hold on.
Okay, there we go. Ah!
And then he hears this. That's actually really good. So, and then he hears the chains. So, once that comes, he immediately stops. His friend stops him. He grabs him by the shoulder and pulls him back. This is what I remember of the
model
tale.
gets possessed.
As Chiho's model gets possessed. And his friend his friend doesn't wake up. He hears that, and then... Right? And then he stops. And then he just closes the window, closes the door, and goes back to bed. And the very next day, he asks his friend, What were those? And he mentions the chains and the music and the party and seeing people outside. Yeah, no, you can see people outside, but never go outside, is what the thing was. And he's like, oh, that was a procession. That was a funeral procession. More specifically, this is the tale of La Carranca. It was a tale of people, of spirits on their way in a sort of spiritual death march on their way to hell to be judged. And it's said that if you join them when you hear the people making noise, you know, in the processions and see everyone outside walking, then you'll be dragged in to join them. And that's my story. You also have La Llorona too, which is a brief one. La Llorona, it's not sure how we get it, but La Llorona, there's so many different variants, but the most basic variant is La Llorona was a mother who had 2 children. La Llorona's children then, died. Usually she drowned them or they died. But no, they drowned, and so she killed herself out of sadness. And now she wanders looking for children or looking for people, and if it's said that you come across her, she'll cry, mis hijos, meaning my children, and then she'll try and kill you.
I thought you
Yippee!
were saying
Alright.
ojos for a second. I was like, my eyes, my eyes.
Mis ojos, close. Alright, and then it's your turn, S'mores, for the final.
Okay, we'll get right into it. That way we can call it a night. That's if any of us get sleep after this.
I mean, I'm gonna
fine.
probably... We'll see.
Okay. I'm a 911 operator, and our district is woefully underfunded for the amount
Definitely
of
not
strange
fucking
calls
sleeping
we
now.
receive. I don't enjoy my job, but opportunities are scarce. I don't enjoy my job, but opportunities are scarce, and the call center was within walking distance of where I live. Calls range from normal things like domestic disputes and burglary to not so normal, like shaved animals and structures not being where they should, or being where they shouldn't. To show you what I mean, I had this call that I thought was going to be in the normal category. 11:52 p.m. The phone rang. I dropped my book and put the receiver to my ear. 911, what's your emergency? A small voice replied in a quiet tone, I need a policeman to come. Hearing a child's voice on the other end of the line was an unwelcome surprise. Sure thing, dear. Can you tell me what's going on? I could hear unsteady breathing. As much as I wanted to, I knew better than to ask again. Finally, the little girl replied, A bad man has entered my home. My heart dropped. I had the police ready to roll within minutes. Okay, can you tell me where you are, and if you're safe? I waited for her to reply. She spoke in a quieter voice. I'm at my home. I'm hiding in my closet under my clothes. I think he hurt my mommy. The matter-of-fact way she spoke was heartbreaking. I got the address from her and told the policeman would arrive in 5 minutes. The police are on their way. They'll be there soon. Just stay quiet and stay on the phone, okay? We have police on a radio set up in the call center. I turned and listened. Officer 1, dispatch, we have arrived. The building looks run down and vacant. Approaching the front door is unlocked. Officer 2, back door is also unlocked. Moving in. I could hear the creak of the door through my headset. They were in the right place. My heart beated hard. I whispered into the mic, the police are there. Let them search your house. The girl giggled. I know. I sat frozen. Her reply was wrong. It made me feel queasy.
Ayo.
I jumped as the police radio came on. Officer 1, I've got a body here. It's a real mess. Either an animal attack or a psycho with a bladed weapon. Continuing my search for the girl. The girl's voice, humming a nursery rhyme, floated through my headset. I couldn't turn it off. I couldn't hang up. One of the officers cussed loudly. What the hell was that? There was a gunshot followed by screaming. So much screaming.
Probably that guttural screaming.
Yeah.
Bro, on my screen, Chiho's just fucking laying on your lap more.
Chiho is just doing tricks.
She's flipping on it.
She's flipping on it. She's having a time of her life.
She's having the greatest fucking time of her life.
The ripping of fabric, screams of pain, and unidentified wet sounds flooded my ears. As fast as it began, it ended. All that remained was the humming. With tearful eyes, I looked at my supervisor, who had patched into my line. His face mirrored my own, shock and disgust. I nearly fell out of my chair when the girl's voice spoke again. "Thank you!" She giggled once more. Heavy breathing was all I heard as I reached over and hit the disconnect button. My supervisor walked over to the map of our county and placed a red pin from the box and pressed it into our map. It joined 100 other red pins, each marking an address that we wouldn't send responders to. Regular calls were marked with green pins. Yellows were for anonymous calls, and red was for the before-mentioned calls, reserved for places we would not return to. The fact that you have a pin system, because it's happening that often, insane.
Bro, the fact that, like, they don't even have a spreadsheet on this shit. It's like, fuck it, we need easier access. We're gonna have a pin.
We're just gonna put a pin on it.
Bro, that would be for, like, when you're, like, so fucking, like... S'mores Chio is all up in Yo Grail.
That's okay. I love her.
Yeah, that's true. Kisses. Dude, the fact is, like... Kisses! The fact that you have a pin is saying, like... Oh, yeah. This shit has happened so often that, like, we need something that we can just glance at and not have to worry.
Okay.
Well, dude, they have to side glance at that shit. Holy crap.
The last call I shared was a bit heavy. Luckily, we don't get ones like that super often. Yes, our map has a lot of red, but that's decades of records. And yeah, red calls have increased exponentially in the last couple years, but things aren't always so dark here at Green Bear 911.
How the fuck do they have this many officers that they can have just...
Yeah, just send them out to die.
50 officers to die.
No wonder they're so understaffed. You've been killing all of your staff.
Bro, that's crazy.
It was nearly at the end of my shift when the phone lit up. I put the headset on and hit the button. Green Bear 911, how can I assist you?
Wait, is it Bear or Bay?
Bear. Green Bear.
Well, no, with a name like that, no wonder.
The voice on the other end belonged to a woman, likely middle-aged and very annoyed. "I need an officer here with a gun." "Ma'am, are you in danger? Can you give me the location?" The caller sighed obnoxiously. "Ugh. Would I be calling if I didn't need you? Stop wasting my time and send an officer."
Bro, the fucking Karen is crazy.
Her voice got shrill enough at the end to make me wince. My supervisor noticed and gave me the all good signal, and I gave him 2 thumbs up. "Of course, ma'am. Could you send me the address or crossroad?" She growled into the phone. "Ugh. You waste my taxes on stupid stuff, but you can't track my call? Fine. Corner of Grover and 3rd. I thanked her and asked for any details. She replied back loudly. "There's a moose in my bathtub." I go to take my morning shower and there's a frickin' moose standing in my tub.
Okay.
I wasn't sure what to say. I expected a noise complaint or a report of a suspicious person, not a wild animal. I typed the info into the computer and sent it to the police dispatch. Not a minute later, my personal phone lit up with a text. "Yo, Kylie, you mean to say moose?" Andrew was dispatched tonight and confirmed that I did indeed mean moose. That's whack. I'll let the officers know. 20 minutes later, I was listening to the entire fiasco on police radio. Animal control managed to tranquilize the animal, only to find out it didn't fit through the door, so they ended up removing the entire exterior wall. Using a forklift, they began to lift the poor animal out of the bathtub, but the process woke it up and it tore free from the bindings. The moose fell onto the ground. It had appeared unharmed and ran into the woods. As to how it got in there, your guess is as good as mine.
Your good is as You're good as guess as mine is crazy.
You're
I
good
feel
at
like that's the one of the funniest ones I've seen. It's because yeah, we got a whole ass moose,
just in the
bro.
bathtub.
Yo, they were in fact forklift certified, but not enough.
Your guess is as good as mine. Night shift is a different game altogether. It's like people shut off their brains once the sun goes down. It's hard to find people willing to pull graveyard, partially because of the craziness, mostly because of Jordan. Jordan isn't a local like most of us working in the call center. He used to be a big shot editor for some East Coast newspaper before getting fired and moving to good old Green Bear. Rumors flowed through the office as to why he got fired, none of them very flattering. But Jordan brought it upon himself. He was an ass. Show up 5 minutes late, expect to get written up. Miss a detail on a call, write up. Someone calls to complain about you, you guessed it, write up. I'm a pretty quiet person that tends to stick to my job while on duty. I think that's the main reason Jordan doesn't bother me. I would prefer a day shift, but since I get an extra $1 an hour working nights, I get along with my night shift supervisor. I often find myself taking more night shifts than most do. I received a call on one of my shift that still bothers me today. It had been a peaceful night. We had a single call earlier about a raccoon stealing garbage cans and hiding them in the woods.
Wait, what? How big is this fucking raccoon?
Just stealing whole garbage cans is crazy.
Bro, wait, this raccoon's kind of goated. Bro said, "All right,
Animal,
bet."
Animal Patrol had their hands full dealing with the 37-pound animal.
Okay, yeah, that explains it.
That's a thick raccoon.
That's a big boy.
But no one was harmed, and the trash cans were returned to their owners. 5:02 a.m. The phone rang. Green Bear 911. What's your emergency? A male voice answered, his tone already frustrated. Hi, this is gonna sound dumb, but I'm stuck in my house. Alright, sir. Who am I speaking with? And are you in immediate danger? The man replied, James. James Oswald. No, I don't think so. It's just that I can't get out. Look, I need someone to come and open my door, okay? James, are you saying your door won't open? Have you tried the back
he
door?
chain
Or
himself to a
a
bed?
window?
What?
He probably did something kinky, got chained to a bed, and she said, "Bye, sucker."
Chained to a bed.
Bro chained it. Bro got laid out spread eagle.
James' voice took on a bit of annoyance. Do you think I haven't tried that? I've been stuck in here for a while. I've tried everything, short of breaking down a wall, okay? I need someone to come in here and possibly break down the door. Okay, James. I'll have the fire
He's
department
too
down there
hungry
as
to
soon as
break
I
down the
can.
door.
What's your address? He seemed appeased. I got his address, and I forwarded it to Green Bear FD dispatch. I talked with James while he waited for help to arrive. He explained that he had tried kicking the door down, but he couldn't do it. Even tried the windows, but they were security glass, and he couldn't break them either. I found it a little odd, but didn't comment on it. 30 minutes later, I got a message from the FD that they were on site. I heard their voices come over the radio. Green Bear Fire Department, is anybody home? There was no reply. They called out a few more times. Green Bear Fire Department, can you hear us? Are you in need of assistance? Hello? James was quiet. I called out to him through my headset. James, the fire department is at your front door. Can you hear them? I could hear James breathing, but it was irregular at this point. Feeling uneasy, I radioed the first responders. Hey, guys, be aware, something feels off about this.
Yo, kick that man's fucking door in or fucking sprint the fuck away.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. There ain't a whole lot going on here. The house is abandoned. Nobody's home. Doesn't look like anybody's been here for years. The front door was even unlocked. I could hear their footsteps echoing as he talked to me through the radio. We're going to do a quick check of the entire area, but we've got busted open windows, unlocked doors, and even enough dust to grow corn in. Feeling a little bit annoyed, I turned off the radio and focused on the headset. Okay, James, is this some sort of prank? I heard what sounded like a sniffle, and James' voices returned. Please, please don't hang up. Whatever you do, just please don't hang up. The desperation in his voice was real. I don't know if I'll be able to get through again. It's been so long. So damn long. I've tried calling you every day. I tried calling, but no one ever answers. If they do, they can't hear me, and then they hang up. Please, just Just hear me out, okay? I didn't abandon my family. I didn't run away. God, they must be thinking the worst of me by now. I was just doing my job, okay? I was checking out the building. I'm a home inspector. It's what I do. I inspect places. I came in. No one was here, and so I did my job. But I couldn't get out. I missed them. I don't know why I can't get out. His speech was fast and panicked. Hold on, James. Are you claiming to be in the house? Yes, he shouted. I'm in the house, okay? I've been here for who knows how long. There's a phone on the wall. I try every day to call someone to get out.
Oh, bro's a ghost.
To get someone to answer, to get somebody to show up, someone to get me out of this hellhole, so I'm begging you, please, please do not hang up. I haven't heard a voice in so long. I need to know. No. I need my family to know. I need them to know I didn't abandon them. My little boy needs his dad.
Problem solved. Burn it down.
James was becoming frantic. My name is James Oswald. I'm a home inspector. I tried to cut in. James, I need you to, please, for the love of all that is holy, save me. His voice roared through the headset. I winced at the sudden increase in volume. He broke into sobs, punctuated by a few incoherent words. The voice of James Oswald began to fade into static. He made a few more pleas before the line went dead. I sat there, trying to comprehend what I had just heard. Was it an elaborate prank or something? So much worse. Jordan leaned back in his chair so as to look at the opposite of me. Kylie, don't forget to pin the call. He went back to whatever he was doing, as if the call he had just received was some mere mundane cat stuck in a tree. Numbly, I did as he said. I pressed a yellow pin into the address the call had claimed to come from. When I got home that night, I couldn't stop thinking about James. I had to know if there was any truth to his story. I googled his name and a plethora of results came up. Missing person reports, news recordings of his distraught wife begging people to come forward with any information. I couldn't bring myself to watch the clip of James' 5-year-old son talking about his missing father. Just the thumbnail brought tears to my eyes. Sadness weighed that child down at such a young age. I considered contacting his family. I don't know what I would have told them, but I felt like they needed closure. They deserved something. But the most recent date was 1986. James's son would be older than me by now. No, it wouldn't be helpful. I closed my laptop. I would just open up old wounds. I'm tired. I think I'll just call it a night.
And then came James from behind the door to be like, surprise, bitch!
Surprise, motherfucker.
Surprise, motherfucker! Sunrise, motherfucker!
I like the moose one.
I think the moose one was my favorite, yeah.
Where did the moose come from? I don't know.
I don't know.
As his guess is mine.
You're good as his guess is mine. So get we ball. Oh, we got another hydrate, ladies.
Hydration.
Junction, what's your punchin'?
Conjunction.
Something words and whatnot.
This is facts. This is facts.
What's your function?
I might take a fucking sleeping, like a Benadryl
Letters.
after this, and then just go fucking conk the fuck out.
No, there's Bill Nye.
Bill Nye the Science
No.
Guy. Bill Nye.
Oh,
The
the
science
chat ended
guy.
again.
Bill.
God damn it.
It's not that big of a deal. We're about to end anyways.
Yeah, it is what it is.
That was fun. 8 seconds and then we're at 5 hours.
Alright, we're at 5 hours. I had a good time.
Yeah, this was really enjoyable, especially with us just like getting to chat in between and talk about other stuff.
Fucking yes, I'd be down to do this again.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do another stream after this.
No, I'm gonna maybe hang out for a bit. Maybe. Might
Yeah,
just do.
Might vibe, but
Might vibe with that. I'm definitely about to. I'm gonna end stream here and just vibe. What about
Anybody you have to raid?
you? I'll fucking let me see if one of my friends are live. If not, I'll just find. Do you have someone you want us to raid?
No, I don't have any live friends. That's why I'm asking you.
All right,
And I'm
hold
not
on. Let me go to my
live
actual Twitch.
because remember mine broke.
It's okay, Chiho. We'll raid in your honor.
Raid in Chiho's honor.
Not sure how that'll work, but fuck it, we ball.
If you can't find anybody either, then I'll probably just raid some small streamer.
I was about to raid you.
And we're going to S'mores' stream.
Yep. All right, who do you want to raid? I'll just follow up. I'll streamer.
Trying to remember. No.
Mods raid their prostate.
There's this really cute red panda VTuber.
Okay. What's their link?
It's RAENEB.
RABNEB.
RAENEBOW. Rainbow sound spelled really weird.
A rainbow.
You look like a rainbow.
Thank you.
Oh, that's how. Oh, I see them.
Aren't they cute? Their model looks really, really cute.
I heard coochie cam.
What?
What?
You know what? Sure, power to the coochie cam. Why the fuck not?
Okay, thank you for everybody who stopped by and hung out during stream today. Please follow if you guys want to hang out again. I wouldn't want you to get lost in the sauce. Because I always forget to follow,
Oh my
like,
gosh, you're
streamers
so
that
cute. What the
I'll
fuck?
watch a streamer for like 8 hours straight, and they'll forget to follow them, and then I cry. Because I'm like, I wanted to follow them.
Hit Control H, go through your Twitch browser history.
Smart. I need to remember that. Anyways, thank you guys. Thank you for the raids as well. Y'all are so amazing. And thanks for hanging out. This was really fun. I had a really good time doing something that I don't normally do.
I had a really good time doing a just chatting stream. This was interesting. I had actually a genuinely good time, yeah. I am gonna direct all of us into, so also make sure to follow, yeah, if you want to hang out. I'm gonna direct all of us into this red panda talking about a coochie cam, so I don't fucking know. It's late enough that I'm not really questioning it. My sleep deprivation be hitting.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
We're gonna raid in, and I'm
Be
gonna stop
kind.
my
Say
stream.
hi.
Yep. Be kind, say hi. I'm gonna end here. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, and then I'm gonna end my recording. Bye. You guys already know me. I'm one of these heroes singing YouTuber. Happy great rest of your night. Bye bye. Yes, they always get a bye bye kiss. Ready, let's fly. 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 Ready.